The limit is what you sacrifice in saying yes is the success of everything else that you're also trying to work on. And this is completely obvious, but I think how you address saying yes is not necessarily saying no, but saying not yet and being really comfortable with saying not yet and really comfortable with prioritization and sequencing of work. So we're really working toward the bigger thing. Like, what are we saying yes to that's a much bigger thing that we can achieve together?
Yeah, I think especially in partnerships, like I get asked all the time, "Hey, can
Oh,
we go
no.
partner with so
Yeah.
and so?" And I'm like, "We absolutely could do that
Yes.
at the expense of all these other partnerships we're working on right now to some degree." And it's a bright, like shiny thing to go and partner with certain people or certain companies. It's important in every role, but I find it very hard in partnerships
It's like
sometimes.
every single day. There's something that's cool that we should do. Yeah. And it's hard.
And my favorite is like, "We should go partner with Amazon." And I'm like, You know how hard that like, I mean, yes, we can go about doing that. It's gonna have to be like a big process that we go through and that we could decide to do
Yeah.
that. So, yeah.
Well, the best answer to that question is, or that statement is, yeah, sure, and you move on. I mean, this is this is probably
I
what you
also
can
do
do.
that.
I mean, how is this really helping me? Telling me that I should partner with Amazon. I
Uh,
mean, by the way, when you were describing this, it sounds like operations. There's a lot of similarities, and I never worked in operations at any company that you were not in a position to be overwhelmed with the volume of requests. I mean, although I have a different reaction to this, my answer is maybe.
Mhm.
Depends on the list of priorities.
Yeah.
So give me all the things that you have, and I can tell you what a priority is. And that's when the conversation stops. What I also learned is when you guiding people how to make these suggestions. Because people have a tendency to be very creative on the spot, but they
Mhm.
never really think through how to operationalize tasks. And when
Mhm.
you are in operations, so in any actually function that has to operationalize any strategy, you start realizing how many levels of things you need to put in place in order to make that happen.
Totally.
So that's one method. But
Yeah.
speaking about methods, leading the team, are you using any specific methods with your team?
Yeah, I think to piggyback on your question about, like, all the operational stuff that has to happen, I think that is very tied to it's not really a methodology, but it's more of a, like, refrain, and it's something I say a lot with the team, which is, like, "up and to the right." And I think many times teams are just like thinking too small and not far enough in the future. So like the scope is like this quarter or like what are we doing like next week? And then you never actually get to like the big thing you're trying to do as opposed to like starting big and working backwards. I think there's a lot of navel gazing and a lot of like, everyone's really busy, but there's not as much transformational work that actually happens. So, really like getting the team to think bigger. But then you can't think so big that the projects or the initiatives become unattainable or like, well, we're going to get this in 2 years. So, let's just wait for then. So, I think understanding that there are thousands of steps sometimes to operationalize these big kind of multi-year, multi-phase projects, and that's okay, especially if you are celebrating every step as like what's up and to the right. We made progress with this. My team is working on this kind of overhaul of our ISV program, our tech partner program, and our app marketplace experience. And 18 months ago, we started building the infrastructure to support OAuth so we could actually track adoption and usage of the partners. So it started like 18 months ago. And then it was like, and then we have OAuth. And now we have tracking. And now we have the Tableau reporting we need. And now we can push that into Salesforce. And now we could do, but it's like 18 months of operation things
Yes.
that are stitched together so that we can end up with this thing that is, way bigger and can be more transformational for the business. I don't know if it's a framework, but it's really this like think big and then celebrate the micro steps to get there.